In the last videos, I took a lot of pride in my consistency to produce over 150 videos across all platforms in 3 months. Now after that I fell off a bit, but now I'm back at it again. That's why in today's video I'm going to share how you can stay consistent. So pay close attention, but first let's understand the cycles. When I started off in personal development many years ago, I was struggling with staying consistent. Typically what will happen is I will start strong, making progress on my goals, staying productive, but then I would fall off. And this happened to me over and over again. I could observe this pattern. 2 weeks I was on fire, really progressing, but then the mysterious week 3 came and I was not able to produce. And I could not figure out why this happens. And the years went by and I gradually increased my ability to stay consistent. So after a lot of trial and error, I was able to stay 8 weeks consistent, but then things will break apart, completely break apart. I'm talking about completely letting go of good habits and really having a hard time to recover again. Now, luckily, I never experienced burnout. It was something else. And I would observe these patterns even more. But the interesting thing is, as the years progressed and the more I learned about personal development and actually take action, this cycle increased. The good cycle extended. So what this means is right now my threshold seems to be 3 months of going all in and being really productive and focused on your goals, staying consistent with producing content, but then things will slowly fall apart. So if you are ambitious and have big dreams and goals and you can't stay consistent, there are 2 reasons. Number 1, you have inconsistent inputs. Let me explain. When I look back on my own journey and really analyze what really happened, I could see after some period I neglected some of my habits. How do I know? Because I tracked my habits for a long time. So for example, I would neglect my healthy habits, my sleep was getting inconsistent, I didn't exercise as much, and all the good habits were slowly getting inconsistent. Because when you have inconsistent inputs, you'll get inconsistent outputs. Now this might seem trivial, neglecting some kind of habits here and there, but this will slowly add up and reflect on your performance. Because subconsciously, when you are neglecting those things, you're saying it's not that important, I can get it away. There is a really powerful concept called self-image that really governs your actions. I'm not talking about the self-image that you see right now or in the mirror. It goes way deeper than this. Basically, you have an internal self-image, also known as your subconscious identity. So based on your conditioning and your past experiences up on this point, you have a certain self-image. You see yourself as a certain way. Now, most of the time, the self-image that we are talking about here is below the surface. It is subconscious. You can think of it like a thermostat. A thermostat regulates the heat based on the room temperature. And when the room gets hot, the thermostat lowers the temperature. The same happens with your self-image. What this means is you can never outperform your self-image. So your results, your conditioning, and your past experiences form your self-image. That's why you can't stay consistent, because you don't see yourself as a consistent person. You don't believe internally that you can achieve your goals. You might say you want to achieve your goals and you are determined, but subconsciously you don't believe this to be true. Now let's move on to the practical side on how to really stay consistent. Now the key question we have to ask ourselves is consistent for what? What is your vision? Because without a clear vision, you can't stay consistent. Having a vision is a prerequisite to staying consistent. If you don't know where you're heading with clear picture, you will never get consistent. So you must create a vision, define where you want to be in 5 years, in 1 year, and then choose a few goals. And what you want to do is to use some kind of vision board, or you can use pictures that have a lot of meaning and that really excite you and that picture your dream scenario. Because let me tell you this, some days I forget to look at my vision, and what will happen is my productivity decreases. And when I find myself in a period where I'm not that consistent, I look back on my habits and my tracker, and most of the time I see that I slipped up on my habits, especially looking at my goals and vision. Now, talking about goals, after you have created your vision, you want to define a few meaningful goals. I recommend you to not have more than 5 goals, because otherwise you risk losing your focus. Now, the key with your goals is they have to be crystal clear and measurable. For example, my goal for Q1 was to record 3 YouTube videos per week and 5 YouTube shorts per week. I could have set a goal like 5,000 YouTube subscribers, but this is not practical. I can't really influence how many subscribers I get, but I can influence the actions that I can do. And you have to think about your goals in that way, because otherwise you have some vague, fuzzy goals, but you can't really take consistent action because the action steps are not clear. You want to think from this frame of mind. make the intangible tangible. The other key with your goals is you have to look at them every day, because what will happen is our brain is designed to have a focal point, and when we are constantly directing our attention to our goals, what will happen is our brain will recognize that this is important, and then it will be easier to take action and stay consistent. Print out your goals and hang them on the wall, hang them on the fridge, wherever you can see it. Basically in as many places as possible, because where our attention flows, our energy flows. So vision and goals are the big picture, but this is not enough to really stay consistent day in, day out. You need a detailed action plan, because if you are confused and overwhelmed, you won't stay consistent. Practically speaking, break down your goals into the smallest steps. I know this might sound tedious, but you want to really think ahead and really strategize and sequence all your tasks. To be more precise, let's give you an example. For me, my goal is 3 YouTube videos long form and 5 YouTube shorts per week. So what I do is I break down the goal into the smallest task. For example, ideation, titles, thumbnails, writing the video, uploading the video, optimizing the video. Clarity is key, because this is how high performance schedule their task. If you are ambitious and serious about achieving your goals, you can't leave consistency up for chance. We have to take control and use foresight. Clarity is key. So when you have a clear vision, clear goal, and clear detailed action plan, all you have to do is to take action. Now, taking action is in some days easy, but most of the days it is uncomfortable. And this is how you stay consistent. Doing the things when you don't feel like doing it. Now, the difference here is when I say do the things when you don't feel like it, is you have a vision. Actually, you are very clear on what you want and how you have to do it. And then there are times where things get hard and you have to do the things when you don't feel like doing it. There is no way around it. Don't let other people tell you something different. Even with all of this pre-planning and thinking ahead, you have to rely on your ability to do the things. Remember when I said in the beginning the self-image concept, this is the threshold that you have to break. This is exactly what I had to do in the past to get more consistent. When you do the uncomfortable things that you know deep inside you have to do because this is what you want, you'll build up your character. And the more days you do what is necessary, you'll build more self-trust and self-belief. This is the secret to consistency. Because what you're saying is, I do the things that I say I will do. Now, talking about secrets, another secret to staying consistent is rest. At this point, you might think I'm contradicting myself. To stay consistent on your goals, you need to have good rest. Otherwise, you'll burn out. Now, I myself, I've never experienced burnout, but I've certainly experienced some type of exhaustion by just working too much. There's a big fallacy we can fall into, especially if we are ambitious people, and that is the type of hustle culture. Thinking we have to work all the time, we have to stay consistent, consistency is everything. You stay consistent by taking enough rest. To make it practical, I recommend you to take at least 1 week vacation every quarter. And also you want to take weekends off on a regular basis. I know this message might seem controversial, especially in this hustle culture. When you are on YouTube or social media, you see all those guys that are super productive, but really most of them are portraying a false image. And you don't know what is going on in their personal life. A lot of them burn out at some point because they don't understand how to rest. Now, I know if you have big goals, it's not easy to balance rest and work. And there is no 100% solution that fits all. But what really helped me stay more consistent is understanding there are seasons in life. There are seasons where you want to push yourself at max capacity, and there are other seasons where you're still very productive, but you take things slower. Maybe this is a learning season, so it's very important to recognize in which season you are in. Because the truth is this, it is impossible to be at max productivity every day of the year. Don't let those people fool you on social media. If you observe the most successful people and the high performers, even athletes, they are living in seasons. They push themselves to the limit, then they rest, then they learn, grow, reflect, and then they go again. When we are talking about staying consistent in the long term, we have to know our North Star. In other words, our calling or purpose. That's why you want to watch this video next, where I go systematically how you can find out your purpose, because your purpose goes even deeper than vision and goals. This is really what will unlock even higher levels of consistency. If you found this video valuable, let me know in the comment section below your thoughts. I read all your comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I post a video. And I see you in this one.